Hey guys! So what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be filming a book haul. So I've not done a book haul in a couple of months, I don't think. Not a proper one anyway. So this is going to be basically me showing you guys what books I bought recently. I sort of went on a bit of a shopping spree yesterday, and also while I was away on holiday in the lakes I did a bit of a shopping spree. You may have seen, if you follow my TikTok, you may have seen that I've already done a book haul for the books that I got in the Lake Districts. However, I thought I'd include them still into this video. So yeah, let's get straight on into it and let's get looking at these books. So yeah. So I have 13 books for us to look through today, guys, and talk about. So let's get on straight into it and let's talk about it. So yeah, start off actually with a graphic novel. So I actually read this on Webtoon before I got this, but I'm just obsessed with the art. It's basically Lore Olympus. It is a webtoon. You can actually watch it, well, not watch it, but read it on your phone or on like a device. However, I love it that much that I wanted to get like a copy of the actual physical version, so I'm going to be getting the other one soon. But this is volume 1, so I don't actually know which bit this gets up to, but yeah, so this is basically a Greek mythology graphic novel. I just love the artistic design. So Rachel Smythe did this webtoon, and they've now brought it out into a book. It looks like this and it's so good. I'm so happy that I finally got a physical copy of it. I'm probably going to read it again, but I'm so glad that I've got a physical copy of it, because then that means I can read it off webtoon as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be within my phone. But yeah, so I'll read you the blurb, seeing as some of you guys may have never seen this. But like I say, if you're into like comics or even graphic novels in general, then I'd definitely give this a go and definitely check it out. It is really good, and I didn't think I'd like it because I'm not a massive anime or manga or graphic novel type person. However, I really enjoyed this. So oh, it says here actually, this volume collects episodes 1 to 25 of the #1 webtoon comic Lore Olympus. But yeah, I definitely give it a go, because even if you're not usually into comics and things like that, I definitely check it out, because it's not necessarily that comic-y. It is more of like a drama, and it's not really got that same style. Rachel Smythe has her very own style, and I really do like it. But yeah, I definitely check it out even if you're not into things like that, because it is really good. But it says, scandalous gossip, wild parties and forbidden love. Witness what the gods do after dark in this stylish and contemporary reimagining of one of mythology's best known stories from creator Rachel Smythe. Persephone, young goddess of spring, is new to Olympus. Her mother Demeter has raised her in the mortal realm. But after Persephone promises to train as a sacred virgin, she's allowed to live in the fast-moving, glamorous world of the gods. When her roommate Artemis takes her to a party, her entire life changes. She ends up meeting Hades and feels an immediate spark with the charming yet misunderstood ruler of the underworld. Now Persephone must navigate the confusing politics and relationships that rule Olympus, while also figuring out her own place and her own power. This edition of Smythe's original Eisner-nominated webcomic Lore Olympus features a brand new exclusive short story and brings the Greek pantheon into the modern age in a sharply perceptive and romantic graphic novel. So yeah, that is the basic of that. Now this was expensive. These go for like £22 to £25. So it's not a cheap book. However, it's one that I've been wanting for so long. Like the physical copy of this I've been wanting for so long that I just went and got it, because I thought I might never like end up picking it up if I don't pick it up now. So yeah, that is that, and that's Lore Olympus by Rachel Smythe. Okay, so I also got a few other books whilst I was in the lake. So I got these 5 books, and the first one is Twin Crowns. So this has been a really popular series. I think it's a fantasy. So it's basically about these 2 sisters, and they end up meeting, and yeah, so there's 2 sisters and only one crown, so they both have obviously the right to that crown. However, they both have to fight to see who gets the crown in the end. I'm really looking forward to reading this. It sounds really good, and I've heard so many great things about it. So yeah, so what it says is 2 sisters, 1 crown. Princess Rose Valhart is heir to the throne of Aina. Is heir to the throne of Aina. Trained from birth to fear the witches that killed her parents, she will do anything to defend her kingdom. Stolen from the palace at birth, Wren Greenrock is the secret sister no one knows about. She plots to usurp the princess in order to protect the witches of Ultha who raised her. In the battle for the crown of Aina, where will your allegiances lie? I'm really looking forward to this, and we're gonna probably get some sister drama, sister fallouts, things like that. And it's just interesting how she's been kidnapped and raised by these witches who also killed both her and her sister's parents. I find that really interesting, and maybe we'll find out some hidden truths which aren't sort of explained to them when they were obviously being raised by whoever. But yeah, so that is Twin Crowns. Really looking forward to this. And yeah, so that's the next book. The next book is This Summer's Secrets by Emily Barr. I saw this and it was one of those books that I saw it and I just immediately wanted to pick it up. Like, I didn't actually like read about it or anything. I've not heard about it or anything. I just picked it up because it sounded good. And yeah, basically it's a young adult book. And yeah, so let's read the blurb. So, Sonara has never been in love before. Actually, she's never done anything exciting. Always the sidekick until the summer that changes everything. Cliff House is closed off for most of the year, only coming to life when its rich owners arrive for the holidays. This year, despite herself, Sonara is pulled into their world of wealth and ease and beautiful people. She finds herself falling for somebody for the first time, but Cliff House and its owners are hiding things. They've been hiding things for too long now, and in spite of all their efforts, the secrets are coming out. Secrets that involve Sonara's friends and family in a way she could never have imagined. So yeah, so that's This Summer's Secrets. It gives me very much We Were Liars vibes, which is what I read in the 24-hour reader form that you may have seen. It does definitely give that vibe. It's a little bit bigger and it's also not exactly about the same thing, but it sort of gives me that same sort of impression. So it'll be interesting to see what secrets come out and how this is going to change the life of Sonara and things like that. So yes, that's This Summer's Secret. So the next book has had a lot of mixed reviews, and this is Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfeld. So I do believe he's done other books. I can't exactly remember which one it was that he did. But yeah, so Curtis Sittenfeld has written Romantic Comedy, and a lot of people have mixed reviews on this book, but I thought it sounded something that I'd like, because I like anything that's to do with like the glamorous TV film world. Obviously that's where I'd like to potentially go in terms of career. So TV, film, anything like that has any sort of reference to it, I really like it. And yes, so it says on here, I know that some people haven't enjoyed it as much as they thought they would, but however some people have really loved this. So like I say, it's got mixed reviews, so I'll have to let you guys know what I think about it. But it says, after a series of heartbreaks, Sally Milts, successful scriptwriter for a legendary late-night TV comedy show, has long abandoned the search for love. But when her friend and fellow writer begins to date a glamorous actress, he joins the growing club of interesting but average-looking men who get romantically involved with accomplished, beautiful women. Sally channels her annoyance into a sketch, poking fun at this social rule, the reverse never happens for a woman. Then Sally meets Noah, a pop idol with a reputation for dating models, but this isn't a romantic comedy, it's real life. Would someone like him ever date someone like her? So it's sort of going to be talking about whether she is able to date this pop idol, and whereas typically it would be a woman who dates someone a little bit more average looking, so potentially Sally is just an average everyday woman, and she has the chance to date Noah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I would like to have my own opinion on it, especially because it's been one of those that has given like mixed reviews. But look at the cover. The cover is just so gorgeous. I love this. I think there was an original cover that doesn't look like this, but it just looks great, and I can't wait to read this and give it a try. So the next book, again, I sort of just picked up on a whim. I don't really know much about this, but it's Days at the Morisaki Bookshop by Satoshi Yagisawa, and it's translated by Eric Ozawa. And yeah, basically it's got this gorgeous like foil detailed front cover, and it's Japanese literature, I believe. Yeah, so I believe it's some Japanese, yeah, translated from Japanese, so it's I feel like I've said that word so many times. It's Japanese literature, which obviously I've read Before the Coffee Gets Cold and things like that. So I'm hoping it's kind of a similar vibe to Before the Coffee Gets Cold, because that's what I sort of expect. But I guess it's going to be short stories about this bookshop, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what this is like. Like I said, I've not heard anything really about it, but yeah, so let's see what the blurb says. A tale of families, love, new beginnings, and the comfort that can be found in books. From the beginning of summer to early spring, I lived at the Morisaki Bookshop. I spent that period of my life in the spare room on the second floor of the store, trying to bury myself in books. The cramped room barely got any light, and everything felt damp. It smelt constantly of musty old books. But I will always remember the days I spent there, because that's where my real life began. And I know without a doubt that if not for those days, the rest of my life would have been bland, monotonous and lonely. The Morisaki Bookshop is precious to me. It's a place I know I'll never forget. And then it says on the inside, it says, hidden in Jimbocho, Tokyo, is a book lover's paradise. On a quiet corner in an old wooden building lies a shop filled with hundreds of second-hand books. 25-year-old Takako has never liked reading, although the Morisaki Bookshop has been in her family for 3 generations. It is the pride and joy of her uncle Satoru, who has devoted his life to the bookshop since his wife Momoko left him 5 years earlier. When Takako's boyfriend reveals he's marrying somebody else, she reluctantly accepts her eccentric uncle's offer to live rent-free in the tiny room above the shop. Hoping to nurse her broken heart in peace, Takako is surprised to encounter new worlds within the stacks of the books lining the Morisaki Bookshop. As summer fades to autumn, Satoru and Takako discover they have more in common than they originally thought. The Morisaki Bookshop has something to teach them both about life, love, and the healing power of books. So I'm really looking forward to this. I really hope it's going to be nice and heartfelt and heartwarming. Maybe a little bit sad at times, but I'm hoping that it's going to be really nice and just a nice comfort read. And I'm going to look forward to reading this. The final book I got whilst in the lakes is another one that I heard a lot of people talking about maybe in 2022 or at the very start of 2023, and that's Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. I don't really know much about this again, however, it is actually a series now, I believe, or it's soon to be anyway. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's Lessons in Chemistry, and yeah, it sounds cool, so I'm gonna definitely check this out. Oh, I also got a bookmark for the Lesson in Chemistry book. So yeah, I'm looking forward to definitely reading that. But let's read the blurb to find out what it's about. So, chemist Elizabeth Zott is not your average woman. In fact, Elizabeth Zott will be the first to point out that there is no such thing. But it's the early 1960s, and her all-male team at Hastings Research Institute take a very unscientific view of equality. Forced to resign, she reluctantly signs on as a host of a cooking show, Supper at 6. But her revolutionary approach to cooking, fueled by scientific and rational commentary, grabs the attention of the nation. and soon a legion of overlooked housewives find themselves daring to change the status quo one molecule at a time. So I really like how it's set in, obviously, the 60s, and it's also going to deal probably with a little bit of feminism, also the way that women were sort of looked down on in STEM, like they didn't really have a place there until many years later, and potentially this is going to look at the perspective and the way we look at women and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. And also it's also about cooking, which I love, and it'll be interesting to see how she incorporates her scientific knowledge into her cooking, and how that's all going to work. So yeah, so that's Lessons in Chemistry. So guys, we now have all of these books to talk about. These were from yesterday when I went shopping, and yeah, basically. So I'm going to get straight into them. So the first one is How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwang. But I saw this in Waterstones, I think, and I didn't actually end up buying it till we went to another shop, but it looks really interesting. I really like the cover, and I also like the title of it, and yeah, something just reached out to me, so I thought I'm going to pick this up and see what I think of this. So I do believe it's a romance, especially because Tessa Bailey has put a quote on the top of it, so it's definitely going to be a romance, and Beth O'Leary as well, so two people that are very in the romance world. So like I said, I've not heard anything about this yet. It might be a newer book, which is why people haven't been talking about it, but I am really looking forward to it because it looks really cool, and yeah, it definitely sounds like something up my street. So yeah, so I'll read you the blurb in case you've never like heard of this book before or never seen it yet. So yeah, let's get into it. So Helen Zhang is the best-selling author who can't write her own happy ever after. Grant Shepard is the screenwriter with the movie-style looks who can't afford his therapist. When the two of them are put together to adapt Helen's books for television, it should be a dream come true. Helen can start a new life in Hollywood, Grant can pay his mortgage. Only Grant Shepard is the last person that Helen wanted to see again. She's never forgiven him for what happened 13 years ago, so no one is more surprised than her when sparks begin to fly between them in the writer's room. Their history is messy, their attraction is undeniable, and soon they're both in too deep. This wasn't meant to be a love story, but aren't the best endings the one you never saw coming? So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this. Again, it's got that screenwriter element to it, that TV element to it, which I absolutely love. So it's definitely, again, something I would want to read about. Even Emily Henry is put on here. So yeah, so clearly it's going to be something good, I hope. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. Obviously, at the start it might be like enemies to lovers maybe, because, you know, she clearly can't forgive him for what happened previously, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. So the next book I actually realised about 10 minutes ago that I've actually already got a copy of, so I'm gonna give this to somebody else to read. However, it is Levy Blake's Alone with You in the Ether, and I might have even actually included this book in another book haul, and I've ended up buying it again, but I'm gonna give it away or do something with it, because I don't need 2 copies of this. So if any of my friends want to read this, then give me a message. But it is a love story, and it's meant to be quite like challenging, quite emotional, and Olivia Blake has very lyrical writing, so I'm really looking forward to reading this and see what it's like. However, I've not read it yet. It is still on my shelf from the last time I got it, but I'm looking forward to it, and I can't believe I ended up buying it even though I've already technically got it. So I'll read you the blurb. It says, in a Chicago art gallery, 2 people meet by chance. He is a doctoral student consumed by calculations on time travel, which he uses as a distraction from destructive thoughts. She is a bipolar counterfeit artist, undergoing co-ordered psychotherapy. By the end of the story, these things will still be true, but this is not a story about endings. For Reagan, people are predictably tedious, including and perhaps especially herself. She copes with the dreariness of existence by living impulsively, sometimes imagining a new alternate timeline springing from each rash decision. To Aldo, the world feels chaotic. So he's erected a wall of routines, a backbeat of rules. Without them, the framework of his existence would collapse. For Reagan and Aldo, life has involved redesigning themselves to society's expectations. But could 6 conversations with a stranger be the variable that disrupts the entire simulation? So yeah, really looking forward to this. And again, obviously she wrote the Atlas 6, if you've heard of that before, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this love story unfolds, especially because I've heard so many things about it. So yeah, looking forward to that one. The next book has been on my Amazon wishlist for months and I've just never actually picked it up. But I finally picked it up. It's really good actually, by Monica Hesse. And yeah, again, something I've been eyeing up and wanting to read. I'm going to see obviously whether it lives up to obviously the expectation, as it's been on my bookshelf for that long. But yeah, look at that on the inside. It sort of has like a double wall cover. And yeah, so I'll read you the blurb. Maggie's marriage has ended just 608 days after it started, but she's fine. She's doing really good actually. She's sure she's alone for the first time and can't afford her rent, and her obscure PhD is going nowhere. But at the age of 29, Maggie is determined to embrace her new status as a surprisingly young divorcee. As Maggie throws herself headlong into the chaos of her first year of divorce, she soon finds herself questioning everything, including, why do we still get married? Did I fail before I even got started? And how many 4 AM delivery burgers do I need to eat until I'm happy? So yeah, it's going to obviously talk about divorce and marriage and whether it's still something that in today's society is sort of expected of us, but also in today's society, is it necessary to be married? Is it necessary to be with somebody for your whole life? Especially because now we're living longer, people might think, oh well, if I'm going to be with them for 60 years, is it worth me marrying them? Could I not just have a few partners? And obviously the opinion on marriage has changed so much in at least the past 100 years. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to read about that as well. And I'm looking forward to giving it a go, seeing what it is, because I mean, marriage for me is like something that obviously I want to do. So this is probably gonna maybe disagree with some of my beliefs, but also maybe challenge me and think about other perspectives on marriage and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing whether this gives me more insight into the idea of marriage, and also looking at divorce in maybe a different way, and seeing whether it does look at it like differently to how we expect. So many different connotations and stereotypes around divorce. Maybe reading this will give us a different perspective. So I'm looking forward to getting my head into that and seeing what I think. So yes, that's really good actually, by Monica Hesse. The next one is wait a second, one second. The next one is from Waterstones actually, and it's Jennifer Lynn Barnes, The Naturals. So if you haven't heard of, this is one of the reasons why I picked this up, because it is the Inheritance Games, is like the same author as the Inheritance Games, and I'm obsessed with that series. I can't wait to see what this one's like. I'm looking forward to seeing what the difference is between this and the last one. So I do think it is slightly different. So it's more mystery based. So someone's even put that The Naturals is criminal minds for the YA world, and I loved every page. So yeah, so it's going to definitely be more crime based, and I'm looking forward to it. It's actually quite short, but yeah, so it says, cold cases about to get hot. Cassie is a natural at reading people, piecing together the tiniest details. She can tell you who you are and what you want. But it's not a skill that she's ever taken seriously until the FBI come knocking. They've begun a classified program that uses exceptional teenagers to crack infamous cold cases, and they need Cassie. So basically, she has a skill of reading people, understanding them, and maybe wondering what they've done and what their intentions are. And the FBI have came to basically want her in their team to help them with their cases, but Cassie isn't too sure. She's not sure if she wants to dabble in the FBI, and yeah, so we'll see how that goes. So it says, what Cassie doesn't realise is that there's more of a risk than a few unsolved murders, especially when she's sent to live with a group of teens whose gifts are as unusual as her own. Soon it becomes clear that no one in the Naturals program is what they seem, and when a new killer strikes, danger looms close. Caught in a lethal game of cat and mouse with a killer, the Naturals are going to have to use all of their gifts just to survive. So all of these teenagers have different gifts which are going to help people sort of solve crimes. However, when obviously another killer gets involved, they have to use all of their gifts to see whether they can crack who it is. So it's sort of like a mystery, sort of like a whodunit maybe. And yeah, I'm looking forward to starting this series. I think it's got 3 books. And yeah, so this is the first one in that book, in that series, and I'm really looking forward to getting started with it. So yeah, that's The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So the next one I am really looking forward to. In December, I read Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and it was a 5-star read. I really enjoyed it. It was sort of my street. It was sort of a mixture of The Red Queen and Hunger Games. So if you've read either of those, it is definitely probably your sort of thing if you like that. It is a fantasy, and it is so, and I just can't wait for it to continue the series. But Lauren Roberts has brought out the second sort of novella in this book, in this series, sorry, and it's called Powerful. So this is about Adina. So Payden is our main character in Powerless, and she has a friend named Adina, and it's her story. While Payden is completing all these trials, it's sort of what Adina gets up to while that's happening. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how they sort of portray Adina in this compared to Powerless, and also just sort of gives us time in between. And I think this is sort of like an interim book, so it's a book that like is in between the like next main book, so that's why it's not as thick, and also why it's set on a different character. I think because it sort of gives the readers something in between to read while they wait for the next book. So I'm really looking forward to this. And I didn't actually know this had already came out, but as soon as I saw it I picked it up because I was like, yes, I need to get back into the world of Powerless and read the series. So yeah, so it says a sizzling and heart-racing new story set in the kingdom of Ilia. Adina and Payden have always been inseparable. Fate brought them together when they were young, but friendship ensured they would always protect each other and the home they built in the slums of Loot. But now Payden, the unordinary, has been selected for the purging trials, which means almost certain death. Now alone in Loot, Adina must fend for herself. After attempting to steal, it's a mysterious man from the market who comes to her rescue. Mac's shadowy past and secretive power set him apart from the other low-level elites of Loot, and as the pair team up to see their loved ones before the trials, the quest tests their loyalty, their love and their lives. So obviously if you've read Powerless, you sort of know some of Adina's story, and it'll be interesting to see how they end this book based off obviously the way Adina's character is at the end of Powerless. It'll be interesting to see how they sort of do that, how Lauren does that in this book. And it's interesting because it's potentially going to have an element of romance between Adina and Mac, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that as well. So a new romance to read within the fantasy world of Loot and Powerless. I'm so excited to get on with this. I'm hoping I get to it before the new Powerless book comes out, whatever that will be called. But in the meantime, this will keep me going until that happens. So yes, that's Powerful by Lauren Roberts. I have 2 more books to show you guys. So the next one is another one that I saw on the tables in Waterstones and another bookshop that I went to, and it is Death of a Bookseller by Alice Slater. I'm really not sure what this is about, because like I say, I've not heard anything. However, I did see on the table it's a crime book, and it's going to be about a murder and serial killers. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. And I'll read you the book. I just love how bright and colourful it is. So it says, would you kill for a good story? Roach, bookseller, loner and true crime obsessive is not interested in making friends. She has all the company she needs in her serial killer books, murder podcast and her pet snail, Bleep. So that's also on here. That is until Laura joins the bookshop. Smelling of roses and carrying a cute literary tote bag, she's everyone's favourite bookseller. But beneath the shiny veneer, Roach senses a darkness within Laura, the same darkness Roach possesses. And as Roach's curiosity blooms into morbid obsession, it becomes clear that she is prepared to infiltrate Laura's life at any cost. Ooh, so maybe there's like a bit of a rivalry between Laura and Roach, maybe, or even maybe they become a team, or maybe, you know, Roach kills Laura. Who knows what might happen there. But I'm definitely looking forward to that. And it'll be interesting to see the dynamic between the two, because it seems as though they've both got a little bit of darkness. Maybe they're both wanting, maybe they're both into this sort of thing, and it'll be interesting to see their sort of relationship and how they are together, whether they get on or whether they like really despise each other. So yeah, so that's Death of a Bookseller by Alice Slater. The final book was actually a recommendation from one of my friends, so Camilla, if you're watching, this is the book that you recommended to me, and it's A Gentleman in Moscow, and it's actually soon to be a major TV series, it says on there, and it's by Towles, or Towles? No, Towles, because Towles is spelled, yeah, Towles. And it's, I believe it's a historical fiction book, and it's set in June 1922, and I'm really looking forward to reading this because she said it's really good, and it's definitely something that she'd recommend to other people, so I'm looking forward to actually giving this a go. So it's A Gentleman in Moscow, and I have looked at this and I have been interested in reading it, and then even when she said obviously that she recommended it, then I wanted to pick it up. So I'll read you the blurb. On the 21st of June 1922, Count Alexander Rostov, recipient of the Order of St. Andrew, member of the Jockey Club, master of the hunt, is escorted out of the Kremlin across Red Square and through the elegant revolving doors of the Hotel Metropole. Deemed an unrepentant aristocrat by a Bolshevik tribunal, the Count has been sentenced to house arrest indefinitely. But instead of his usual suite, he must now live in an attic room while Russia undergoes decades of tumultuous upheaval. Can a life without luxury be the richest of all? Oh, okay, so it'll be interesting because he is obviously stuck in this attic room. I'm guessing this is sort of what it would look like. He's stuck in this attic room and he can't leave. He's sort of housebound. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether he can sort of cope within that setting, whilst all this stuff is going on within Russia, all these turbulence and things like that. So it'll be interesting to read, and I'm looking forward to it, especially because my friend recommended it, and I'll be definitely updating her as to whether I enjoyed this book or not. But yeah, so that's the final book that I have for you guys today. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to give a like, comment, tell me if you've read any of these books and what you think of them, or whether there's any books on your wish list, or just anything you want. Comment it below and I'll be sure to get back to you guys. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in next Thursday's video. Bye guys!